What's going on, everybody? How you doing? In today's video, we got a donation request. This is for Seth. This is the Criss Dave trio, which I'm super psyched to check out. This is the song Crisscross. This is a Thelonious Monk track, right? A Thelonious Monk song. So Criss says, I've wanted to get your thoughts on this performance for quite a while. A really interesting take on Monk's 1963 composition Crisscross. On the surface, it sounds like total chaos, but it is all choreographed. Someone in the comments summed it up pretty well. Quote, the idea here that Criss is getting across is instrumental performance equivalent to mixing two different tracks like turntables, having one loop going while arbitrarily playing a counterpoint track over it. It's a very complex way of performing and attests to the point that the drummer is not the only one that keeps track of time, but that every musician is to keep that pulse, which is accurate. We're going to check this out. Criss Dave. Wow. I have not heard his band, so we're going to check this out. If you're new here, please subscribe. Check out my videos, all kinds of videos, reaction videos, bass videos, music videos. Check it out. If you like the channel, you want to support the channel, you can hit super thanks underneath this video. You can hit me direct in the description. I got PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Amazon wishlist, mailing address, and I do donation requests just like this one. So if there's something you want me to listen to, watch, talk about, hit me direct, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo in the notes section. Leave a link, leave a description. Let me know what you want the video to be on, and I'll make the video. You can also email me at jpanreadsemail@gmail.com. Thank you, guys. All right, let's do this. Bam. 2009.
No, it's not. No, press it. Press it.
Very interesting. Yeah, if you didn't know, Criss Dave is an incredible drummer. It does sound a little bit sped up, but I mean, to keep a little bit, but to keep this while the drummer just goes off, it's not simple. You gotta basically be like in your own world, and you better keep your body moving, right? You know? I do love it though. I mean, so to speak, right? It's pretty cool. I see. Jesus. That's awesome. So he's playing the head to crisscross. I mean, that bass player cannot stop moving. His concentration has got to be insane to do this. I mean, he's literally, you would think it's easy. He's playing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. It just, you know, but nah, it's not like that at all. This is like, yeah, this brings me back to like when I was in college and after college. It's like something that we would have thought to do. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like the bass player's doing their thing and these guys are playing together. It's like the bass player's not playing with them. These two are playing together. He's like, finally, can I? A little bit? Just a little. Yeah. Head one last time. Gotta count the sax player in. Yeah, that's cool. Wow. Yeah, I mean, wow. Wild. This is some, you know, this is like, I mean, to me, it's like for like music students. It just reminds me of when I was at Berkeley and after Berkeley and just like people that are studying music really hard, you know, like it's like, because like a regular person isn't listening to jazz, first of all, for the most part, you know, but also just this level of discomfort. That's not usually why people listen to music, right? It's really cool. This is like some technical stuff. This is, you know, like I like it. I like it, right? But I could see how, you know, I mean, how big is the audience? Not to say that you can't pull an audience, but you know, people can pull different levels of audiences, right? This is not a U2 concert or something like that, or Coldplay or something. Anyways, yeah, oftentimes it's like musicians in the audience, right? That kind of thing. It's like people that play drums are going to be there, things like that. Other musicians, that kind of hang. This is really cool though. Yeah, this is really cool. This is definitely something that I would have done in, you know, when I was at Berkeley, or just outside of Berkeley, when I was still living in Boston. I was still like, had, you know, like a rehearsal space and jam sessions all the time. And we would potentially do stuff like this, you know, like heavy improvisation, using jazz standards, using tunes, you know, that we wrote, different things like that. Yeah, very cool stuff. Yeah, I dig it. Yeah, I mean, basically the bass player is just, I mean, it's everything that I said during the performance, right? Bass player is just in his own world, and then the drummer and the sax player doing their thing, right? And the drummer is kind of playing the in-between, right? And it's true that, like, okay, you said that, like, everybody has to keep time. That's accurate. That is more than accurate. Everybody has to keep time. The number one timekeeper, though, is the drummer. The drummer can't keep time. I mean, this is not an issue with this. I'm just saying in general, right? The drummer, if you're all playing together and you're not doing some crazy jazz experiment like this, if you're all playing together and the drummer has time issues, there's no amount of rushing or pulling that the bass player or anybody else is going to be able to do to get the drummer to move, if they're not going to move, right? Does that make sense? I mean, I've tried it a million. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You can't physically push them, but you need to get behind them, grab their arms in their hands, and physically do it for them. You need to get the drummer off the drum throne and sit somebody else down in order for it to change. But even within that, within the drummer keeping time and every, you know, like, and locking in the time, everybody is keeping time, right? Because if the drummer is here, right, we talk about like Mingus's concept of time, the circle, right? If the drummer's here, you could play here while the drummer's playing here. You could play here while the drummer's playing here, and it's all going to feel a different way, right? It's like time within time. Does that make sense? Kind of like this. Time within time, right? Because it's all rhythms, it's all like polyrhythms and feels, right? You could play straight while the drummer is swinging, and vice versa, right? Those are different feels. That's going to be different, like, kind of note placement, right? That's part of that whole Mingus thing, right? This is the beat. This is the center of the beat. If you can play anywhere within this and you're still within the circle of the beat, right? But some people's circle of the beat is tight. Some people's is looser, right? It's wider. These things give different feels. These are just like music concepts. I like that kind of stuff. I prefer music concepts to music theory. I don't, you know, does that make sense? The people that have heard, like, watch me enough and listen to me, do you feel like you get that? Like, I prefer, you can get music theory anywhere on the freaking internet. There's a zillion YouTubers that talk about that kind of stuff. I don't care about any of that. Yeah, I know it. I learned it. I know all that kind of stuff. I prefer concepts. You know, like, theory is just the names to, you know, like, I like, you know, and I like sounds, right? The different, like, colors, and I talk about that kind of thing, right? But, like, it's more about concept to me. Like, for instance, I just did that Vienna Tang Pontchartrain, right? Concept. Yeah, there's theory within there. Yeah, there's the, you know, like I said, Phrygian. Okay, cool, because the scale that she's singing in, right? The sound of it. But the concept of the song is what makes it incredible. That's my thing. And this is a concept also, right? This kind of playing, this idea, how they were doing it. That's like, I prefer that kind of thing, just musically, concepts, because you can make cool shit. You know, I mean, yeah, you can make cool shit also if you're just thinking of it theoretically, but like, you also might make it sound more like an exercise, right? As opposed to just, we have this idea that we're going to play around with musically, right? Instead of like a music student exercise. You know, that may not be musical, right? It may just sound like robotic, like an exercise, right? As opposed to yeah, just music, something that you can actually use that could have an audience, right? This has an audience. It does. It may not be a super wide audience, a massive audience, but it does have an audience. So very cool. Yeah, super cool. Dig it. Awesome. Thank you guys. I'll catch you in the next video.